and welcome to another episode of the Nerd Age Podcast. This is the show where we talk about everything nerdy. My name is Mick. With me, as always, are my co-hosts, Josh.
What's up?
Corey.
Hello.
And Jonah.
Hey,
welcome to the show, guys. If you like what you see here, please consider subscribing to our channel. And, doing the clicks and likes and the comments.
Subscribed.
And that. We're going to jump right into some XMEN 97, episode 3. Don't remember the name, but it's episode 3 of the new X-Men show.
Yeah.
I've been telling everyone to watch it. I've just been like, I told Brian, I was like, dude, you got to watch this. Like my brother, we grew up. He actually texted me about it. And I was like, dude, are you watching this? I'm like, yeah, dude, it's sick.
It's 100% on like critic score Rotten Tomatoes. They're like, this is something like it's good. I mean,
Funny.
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this episode. They're doing my boy Gambit dirty, you know? That's my biggest complaint. I'm like, man, screw you, Rogue.
Yep.
And you, Magneto, you're the worst. But I just think it's really interesting what they're doing with it. It's I like how they're building kind of these characters and bringing in just these characters that for me I forgot about. Like
I know
going back and being like, I remember that dude. I was like, yeah, there you go. And Morph and that whole arc that Morph had with him.
Yeah.
I'm a little confused why they designed Morph differently. Because in the original, he had the face, and he turns into the face. I don't know if maybe I'm forgetting, but did he get to that point where he becomes like a alien face with white eyes?
Face.
I don't think so, because I think he always had the face, which is like you said in this episode, he changes to that face from the. Yeah, I don't know why they made the decision to be like, well, he's going to have
cooler design.
I guess.
Because he spent his time mainly in that normal face in the main series.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I never saw him in the other one. So that's a little interesting to me that why that change. But yeah, I mean, I've really been enjoying it, and I think it introduces some interesting things with Cyclops' son and
crazy story.
The disease thing. Like when he throws him, he just puts him in the vat with like the green water's like, oh,
radioactive.
All right, baby, just
hang out in there.
Just hang out.
That was weird.
Yeah, because I think because this is people were asking that's supposed to be Cable.
Yep.
So they're gonna send him to the future. He's Cable.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like canonically, he's whatever. What's his name? Nathan Summers.
Nathan Drake
is yep.
Uncharted
is supposed to be Cable, and so people were saying like, well, Cable is in the first episodes of the original series, but they never mention anything about it. It's just kind of like, he shows up and
that's
whatever.
Crazy.
But it looks like that's what they're doing with.
Does
this.
he have the same like or similar marking things? You know how he had that stuff on his.
Well, I think it was on his left eye, and that's where Cable has his special eye thing going on.
Oh, that's interesting. Sick.
I think in the comics it was Apocalypse that gave him the disease, but Apocalypse was in the original show, but they just switched it up for some reason.
I guess it also depends on what comics, because like I feel like with the X-Men they've always been like, oh, let me introduce a different, because like Cyclops, I was watching the thing where a guy was like, do you know what he's actually not shooting stuff from his eyes. It's actually he's like in the comics they said that it was looks into another dimension that's full of red energy, and that's the energy's coming out of his eyes are actually portals to that other like world, other realm where there's just red energy everywhere. And so whenever they come through, it's just a portal to that other place. And he's like, that's what canon is. I was like, that's kind of crazy.
So hypothetically, if you had like an Ant-Man who could like
go
through.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Pretty nuts.
But if you just show up in that dimension, do you just immediately die?
I guess
You're just
probably.
done. Yeah.
Don't go to that dimension.
But I was like, that's nuts. That's
What
crazy.
the heck? It was just so cool to see them like it's such a heavy. I know it's kind of lightened because it's animated and stuff, but dude, just like having Cyclops be like, I don't want to abandon him. Like I was abandoned. Like this like super like emotional like story beats. I'm just like, dude, what do you do with this? Like you're with a clone. Like this is crazy. Like
when did my memories start? Like and yours, like who? Like
it was wild.
A mind trip.
It was.
I thought it was funny though because he was like, I'm not going to abandon. And then he just walks out and he abandons the whole
just kidding.
Like,
That's weird, bro. I'm out.
I won't abandon you, but I'm leaving.
Well, she said, leave. And you don't mess with Jean Grey.
That's
when
true.
she tells you to do something, you do it.
Did she tell him to leave?
Are you saying when he comes into the room?
When everyone's like deciding, like, hey, we need to send him to the future.
He says, I can't have anything to do with this. I'm sorry.
He's like, he did the whole thing about like, I was abandoned. I don't want to abandon my kid. And he's like, I don't want anything to do with this. And then he leaves. I just thought it was funny.
Hey.
Calling him out.
Calling him out. I'm calling you out, Cyclops.
Dude, that animation with the other Jean Grey was
Goblin
awesome.
Queen.
When she was like evil mode or whatever, that was cool. Like green and black flames.
Yeah, that looked sweet.
That was so dope.
I love the whole just creepy episode. Like when superhero cartoons go like
dark,
Halloween-y, kind of creepy imagery. And
it was super creepy.
I was digging it.
It was creepy.
It was cool.
Yeah, the ring, the lady coming out of the TV.
Yeah.
The big goopy
Magneto
thing.
and Rogue.
What a nightmare.
Mixing the skins.
That's really
yeah, dude.
Mixing
poor
the
Gambit,
skins.
dude.
Bro, I know.
Wolverine in the shower. Jeez. Nightmare fuel.
So hairy.
I love whenever they like tap into that the crazy Phoenix. What was it called? That when she's like gets taken
Phoenix
over
Force?
by the
Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix, the cosmic thing that takes over.
The Phoenix
Whenever
Force,
they visit
right?
that is so cool. I love that. It's like this amazing amount of like power, and they keep doing all these nods back to that moment, like it has already happened. But like they show like how powerful it is with the big Phoenix around the whole Earth, and she's like, is that all you remember? And it's like, dude, it's so sick.
It's kind of trippy too, like when they go into her mind and she's like getting swallowed by somebody.
It is
like I was
crazy.
like,
And then-
like, hey, what's going on?
Always at the last second, it's like, ah! Like the bad guy's like, ah! Like at the last second. It's so funny. But man, I think they're just doing such a fantastic job with this. I wonder how like the younger kids, like, you know, I'd love to talk to like Ethan or something like that to see how he enjoys it, if he's watching it at all, if that even entices him. Because I wonder if it's just us, because we watched it when we were kids, and we're just kind of all the guys who are all the critics online are just like us,
right? At the perfect age,
yeah. That's what I'm wondering. But yeah, well, my mom loves it, so
nice.
That's all that really matters, guys.
Yeah. Do we know how many episodes?
I don't know. And I don't want to guess because we're always wrong.
I hope 12.
We've lost a lot of listeners.
I hope 24.
Because we're wrong.
Oh yeah.
Like, you're not reliable. You're not a reliable source.
No.
You said it was coming out in August and it's not even coming out till March.
Did we ever claim to be reliable?
No,
No.
we always deny.
But that's the difference
between
We're truthful.
between us and others.
We're
You just
truthful
gotta,
about
you
it.
know, you just gotta
We're not
act
reliable.
like you're reliable.
Oh, we are.
Oh.
Just say it.
We just have
say
to
it
lie
like you mean it.
openly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 12 episodes. So
Yeah,
I'm excited.
100%.
I heard there's
12
only 3.
episodes.
This was the season
This is the
finale.
season finale.
Stand
Yep.
by it.
And the baby is for sure Cable.
Yep.
For sure, 100%.
Yeah.
We also know that.
Cable guy.
Cable guy.
Jim Carrey.
That's right. That's right.
The one thing
Well, just like-
I saw an
What's wrong
interview. I saw an interview today where they were talking about Morph, and you know, before the show came out, they said, "Oh, he's
Non-binary.
non-binary," and so like everyone was like, "Oh, like there's this whole big thing." But one of the creators was like, "He's never gonna refer to himself as non-binary," and he's like, and he uses he/him pronouns. He's not gonna use they/them because it's the 90s, and that didn't exist back then.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you know, like,
what was the point then?
well, that's what I'm saying. And I was
Right.
like, okay, that's fine with me, but a lot of people are upset now.
Yeah.
But the person was like, no, I mean, yeah, he's not binary, but at that point, that wasn't part of, like, in the 90s, that
Bro,
wasn't a thing.
They should have had me as a writer. I'm like, hey, guess what? Cable comes back from the future, and he's like, More. I'm gonna give you a heads up, bro. They them pronouns. That's the way to go. He's like, all right, boom, $1 billion franchise. What?
So
Disney, hit me up, y'all.
I just thought that was interesting. A lot of
people, but yeah,
I just thought that was interesting because I mean, they could have just even not made it a thing, but because they wanted to go out from the beginning and be like, it's a non-binary character to get people on their side, and now they're the same people that they got on their side, and now they're angry. And I'm just like, so you shouldn't even worried about that. Just give us a good story. No one needs to know.
Just
like
enjoy
that's
the cartoon.
not a part. Like it seems like so trivial and not even a part of the story that I'm like, you should have you got to learn your lesson. Just not even go into that and just give us a good story with good characters, because that's what they're doing. Like that's what this show is proving, that people love the characters and they're doing a good job telling a interesting and unique story, and you want to know more about the characters. So I'm just like, that's what you got to focus on. Just focus on that.
I thought it was so funny when they're like, wow, they made Gambit so feminine. They put him in a crop top. And it's like, no, dude.
That was a style.
It's 90s, dude.
Yeah.
So many like big manly men on the big screen wore crop tops. That's just how it is. It came from the 80s.
Freaking Wolverine's in his underwear half the time. Anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
Same thing.
It's just funny that people pick and choose. But fantastic.
Yeah, I think so far so good on it. So
I think I look forward to X-Men a little bit more than Bad Batch. Just a little bit more.
How dare you?
You know? And speaking of which, why don't we transfer over to Bad Batch?
The Harbinger.
Oh.
Spoilers for the Bad Batch if you haven't seen it. But we get a big character coming back in this
Luke
episode. Asajj Ventress.
Oh, no
shows
surprise
up
here.
We talked about it last week when we said maybe we kind of speculated that maybe that's what Fennec Shand was talking to. And turns out, they didn't even drag it on much longer. It was just like, there she is.
Boom.
She looks awesome. Her new design is really cool.
Yeah.
The yellow lightsaber is just chef's kiss.
Does she have both of them or just the
It was
one?
yellow.
I think she only
she's had
ignited one. Yeah.
But to me, I think this is, just in this one episode, this is like the best Asajj Ventress. Because it's like the voice, the look, and now she's more of a Jedi. To me, it's like, this is
She
is
said
awesome.
herself, though, she wasn't a Jedi.
Right, but I'm saying like she's more on the light side of things. Like in the past, it was like, murder things with the Force. This one, she's communing with the animals, and connecting in that regards, like with the Force. To me, it was like, this is an awesome massage, and I'm here for it.
An awesome massage.
Awesome massage,
great massage.
That's crazy.
I thought it was cool to get kind of like the training perspective from someone that's not a Jedi. You know, like it was. It seemed kind of like, oh, this is familiar yet really different. So I thought it was cool to have her back. Do you think we'll get more of her, or this is it?
Oh,
no. We gotta get more.
You're gonna get more. I think even the episode title, like Harbinger, I think because of her, stuff
she's
is going to
kicking
go
it
down
off,
now. This is what it's going to set up the back half of the season, and she's going to be involved.
Yeah.
Did she make it though?
Yes, because Dave Filoni is setting up some big characters to come in his live action movie. He's already setting up.
John wants everyone. Dude.
So you're saying Quinlan is coming?
Oh
Quinlan.
Quinlan's going to be still around, and I think
Han Solo.
Here's the thing. The thing that's interesting is this. Listen,
I'm listening, dude.
This character,
just spit it out.
It's smart.
He wants the end game of Dave Filoni characters.
The Dave Filoni heir to the Empire is going to be very contingent on. They're already setting up. We saw Ahsoka, who they're bringing back from this new realm, this new galaxy. They're going to Dathomir. The Night Sisters are there. They're going to resurrect all these people. She was resurrected on Dathomir. She's connected to the Night Sisters, but now she's on the light side of things. That's a total deep connection. You have to have her there. Like it makes total sense, and it's a Dave Filoni character that was like, why do you bring her back? You don't bring her back to just kill her at the end of the Bad Batch. It's like you bring her back because you have
You're gonna be
something
so mad
bigger.
when that happens. I don't think it will, but
I don't think she will, but I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Who do you get to cast?
Is that too many lightsabers on
I
the
don't
screen?
know.
You know what I'm saying? Is that too many lightsabers going on?
Here's
in
the
this
thing.
movie?
No, because
Because they like to keep it nice and slimmed down.
so this is what, if you're going to do an Heir to the Empire actual movie, which is what they're calling it, right? Dave Filoni's doing this. So you got Thrawn, you've already introduced him.
You need Luke.
At some point, you're going to have Luke, but people are already expecting Luke and that kind of stuff. But I'm wondering, like, what characters are going to get Star Wars fans excited to go to a movie again and build that whole thing up? And I think it's Dave Filoni's.
It's a Camino saber.
Dave Filoni's animated characters are going to get the Clone Wars and Rebels fans to be like hyped about seeing Asajj Ventress in live action. I think we already did that with Ezra. We got Hera. These characters are already being brought in. It's like, what else can you do?
That's what this is, right?
Yes.
It is. I wonder.
I don't know, but that would mean she'd have to.
You know, a lot of it just not panders, but like it only applies to the Clone Wars fandom, which
Yeah, but
I mean I think it's totally fine, and I think it totally could happen. It's just when someone else looks on this that doesn't know Clone Wars, gonna be like, all right,
right. But at the same time, Star Wars always has done that with like. There's inside.
Sorry,
inside
I was
baseball.
talking to the point where you're like, well, he needs to get characters that are going to bring people to watch it. That
Well, I'm
aspect
saying, like,
of it,
because-
no one's bigger than Luke. So if you have
Right.
Luke, you're good for the normies, and then you
Right.
pull in some more niche ones, and that
Yeah,
should do
and
the trick.
I just think Dave Filoni there's certain characters that he wants to put in live action and normally it's going to be the characters that he's been building out and telling stories for the last 30 years, 20 years.
I don't know.
I just think
I'm not.
that-
Yeah.
Well, I think it totally could happen, but I'm saying out of all the ones to choose, I don't know. This one could go either way. That's all.
Do you not, like Josh, do you not think it's interesting that they would bring her back after Ahsoka, that's establishing Dathomir's the next kind of like big step for the live action stuff? Like they set up Dathomir, like that's how Ahsoka ends, is him Thrawn arriving at Dathomir with all these tombs, right? So don't you think it's a little interesting that they bring in Asajj Ventress, who
what?
at the end of Dark Disciple, she's left on Dathomir and
But what's her role?
seems to be resurrected.
That's the part that I would need to be sold on. Is what's her role
She has, this is how I would put it.
in the story?
In the story would be they need
Heir
to
to the
figure
Empire.
out about Night Sisters and Dathomir.
She could be a connection
and
to that.
she would
Okay.
understand what the Night Sisters are all about, everything about Dathomir. So the good guys need to understand, like, what's Thrawn doing? She's a source that, like, find her, and she's a source of, like, information, and this is what we need to do.
And
And I think that would make sense, where she's on the good side and helping them understand
like,
more about the Night
helps
Sisters.
Ezra out, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
How does her species age?
I mean, does that matter? Because
I'm just curious.
she's apparently has multiple lives.
I'm just asking questions.
I don't know how she ages, but I feel like the Mother Talzin's been around for centuries.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because what? It's from where we're at now, it's only like 20 years
20
to
years
where
or something.
she can survive that. I mean,
26.
She can survive that.
Ahsoka's been around forever. Age is just a number, guys.
Okay, cool. I mean, I'd be down. She'd be slower.
That's just speculation.
That's shown.
No, that's a fact. No.
Also-
It's committed.
Does that
We're
mean
reliable.
anyone that shows up in Bad Batch, I should expect them to show up?
Whoever survives.
So
it.
Gunji, live action Gunji.
Yeah. I'd love that.
We're getting a live action Wookiee Jedi. Maybe they're just
Maybe
trying to figure
that
out how
is
would this
Gunji.
look in movie theaters. No, I just think
It'll look great.
it's interesting to me that she out of nowhere came back when she's already been killed in a book. To me, it just seems like it was done on purpose.
Okay. That's something that's a good point. why go through all this to just have her die or be removed from the story in a couple episodes in this one?
And you probably could have any other character do what she was doing. Like instead of her, Cad Bane could know about the midichlorian count, which they mentioned midichlorians.
They did. They said the M word.
Yeah, they said it
once, and then they went back to M.
And people were like, "What? That's what we've been talking about this whole time? This is trash."
I actually cheered. I got up and clapped.
I was wondering if they were just going to say it. I was just like, just say it.
Yeah.
Like, no one cares.
Rip the
Just say
Band-Aid
it.
up.
They're describing every part of it, and they just won't say it. It's so funny.
It's the word that's offensive.
It is.
So actually, let's bring it to that midichlorian count aspect. What do you guys think is going to be kind of what they figure out about that with her? Because she was like, do you think I am really high with the Force? And she's like, no, I don't really think so.
Yeah.
You know? So do you think it's just more of like, what do you call it? She's just really, she works well with whatever the process to cloning is. Is that what that means? Or
is that one of the things that he was
be high.
implying that she was lying about? Or was that a separate thing?
That's what I thought he was saying. Like,
I was a little
Like,
confused.
she doesn't have the thing, and he's like, you're lying. He's like, you're lying about it.
Okay.
I think that's what she was saying. She's like, she does have it.
she does. Okay.
But
I
you're
mean-
not going to let her go anyways, is what she was saying.
Right,
Like,
right,
so
right,
why
right,
would
right,
I tell you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they've been setting up that Omega is Force sensitive.
She just sucks right now.
No, because she's connected. Like,
And she's a
the stuff she did with Batcher, they've done stuff with the same thing they did with Ezra and how he connects with animals throughout Rebels. They've done with Omega.
Yeah, but she failed one of the tests.
Doesn't matter.
Or
I
both
mean,
of them?
Anakin failed a lot
She
of
failed
them.
2 tests.
And the other thing is,
yes.
She got the fruit or whatever, the flower.
Oh.
What was the other test?
The last one was the one with the. She had to.
Oh,
peel.
the water.
Yeah.
The water.
She failed.
So she failed that one. Yeah.
And she failed the balancing the thing on her.
Yeah.
She's a fraud.
I'm gonna be so upset if she's Force sensitive. Oh my gosh! You don't know what's coming, Disney.
There's never been a clone that's been Force sensitive.
She's Force sensitive,
And
though.
she definitely.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I think they're doing
And
a
she's
little,
a clone
little fake
of-
out.
Huh?
She's a clone of.
Boba Fett. She's the original.
But how does she?
Django.
I mean, Django.
Yeah, Django. But then how does she all of a sudden have M
They
count?
could have just like injected
Put a
her.
little extra.
She
She put a little emperor in there.
Asajj says there's never been a clone, but you aren't normal clones. Like she makes that
Right.
that distinction of, like,
but
you're
she's
not.
like,
Is it like a mutation technically?
Maybe
Maybe something
maybe it
went
could be
wrong
that.
and they were like, oh, they just happened to have a little extra midichlorians thrown in.
It's just the force at
it
work.
could have been that, or they, I don't know, they could totally do a thing where Nala Se or whatever we're doing experiments to see with, let's mix it with Sifo Dyas's blood or something like that, where they got a Jedi, and so if they, so they might, I think there might be more to it, like, because they've kept her to age normally, right? And there was always something special about her. That's why her name's Omega and all that kind of stuff. She was the last one kind of thing. So I think there's just more to it that they were probably testing to see if they could clone Jedi. And she's the first test of that, and it worked. Because Nala Se knows, even from the beginning, not to test her. You know?
Yeah.
So
she
obviously
knew.
she knew,
Yeah, she knew.
that's what. So to me, that would make sense. That it wasn't just like a random thing. It was like, no, there was probably
They were working towards
something that they were, you know.
Yeah, it's interesting though. I wonder how they're gonna do all that. I guess I'm very intrigued by that. To see like, oh, it's just a mutation, or no, actually we got some genetics from a Force user and mixed it in, and boom, there you go. I don't know. It's just exciting. It's cool. How many more episodes do we
7,
have?
right?
Sweet. So we got plenty of room, plenty of time. 100%. He said it. 100%. 100%.
7 episodes left.
100%. Well, see, being so confident like that is great.
Yeah.
Because then, if we're wrong, someone will be like, these idiots. And then they'll correct us.
Nice.
And there you go.
Comment, but engagement.
Yeah.
Engagement.
That's right.
There you go.
That's right.
We're farming engagement.
Johnny, you should just say whatever outlandish stuff you want, honestly.
Hey, I always do.
I know you do.
How's that any different?
Let's do
All
it.
of
This
us
guy
did.
saying the Saj Ventures was put in specifically to be in the live action.
Yep.
I think. I mean, it
That's
makes
right.
sense to me.
100%.
It makes sense.
100.
And yes, I do think they've been teasing Quinlan Voss in the comics, in Obi-Wan, in
Quinlan
multiple
was he?
things.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
No.
and he's still alive. That'd be sick to see him in live action.
When's the last time we saw him?
Well, Dark Disciple is the last.
In the book, yeah.
Yeah, he's in the book.
Is that one still canon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a WoW guildie whose dad works for Lucasfilms, and he was telling me that we were right on everything we say.
Oh,
Oh,
So that's pretty sweet.
you heard
that's cool.
Yeah.
I heard The Rock is
Big
going to be
fan.
Quinlan Voss.
The Rock.
No, I'm pretty sure Tom Holland or Timothy Chalamet. No, I mean, come on.
Quinlan Voss would be sweet.
He'd be sick.
Yeah.
No, I like
And to
Tom-
think
I
that
like Tom
he was
Holland.
created just because they had some random guy in the Phantom Menace that had that
Yeah.
line, and George was like, "I like that.
That's pretty sick.
I like that guy."
Put him in
I
the
like
show.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so we'll see. I still think.
What?
I still think Omega maybe doesn't make it out of this season.
Man, what a waste of a good character, though.
But think
if that
about
is
how
the
awesome
truth.
she would be in live action.
She would be awesome.
They didn't just put her in there to kill her.
Dave Filoni's Heir to the Empire? Omega?
Nah, I don't know.
With a
her-
lightsaber?
and
With a
her
lightsaber.
giant effing head.
That'd be pretty sick.
Dang, dude.
Watermelon head. It's better now, but
And she gets Boba Fett's armor somehow.
Mm.
Huh? Huh?
No.
Jedi.
No.
Man,
Yeah.
That's what they're gonna do with Grogu. That's what they're gonna do with Grogu.
No.
Oh, now you guys think it's cool?
And guess
That's
and guess
awesome.
who needs to train him? Omega. Omega needs to train Grogu.
Oh, her M count's so huge. She'll teach him about M count,
Yeah, I still think she's not gonna make it.
bro. You think she dies?
Mm-hmm.
That's heavy stuff.
Here's again.
That's
You-
heavy, dog.
You think or you know? Because I think you know.
I know.
Yeah, there we go.
The thing is, the thing that they've been doing so good is
So
that
well.
her empathy
So good.
with her empathy with all the other characters.
Yeah.
And I just think
That's going to be your downfall.
She's like the glue for
I
everybody.
just think that
think you're
she
right.
is gonna realize that she's
needs
a
to die.
danger. They're never going to stop chasing them if she's around, and she's gonna understand that the Emperor's trying to create clones of himself, and
She gonna off
she's
herself
the
or
one.
something? What do you-
No, but I
I know
think
the way you're talking about
if
this.
they're going to Tantus, I think that's how it's going to end, where they go and save the clones. I think there's a way where she does something to blow up or destroy Tantus, and she stays back doing that while everyone else gets
Are you
saved.
gonna be mad though about another Star Wars death by an explosion?
No, it's different.
Well-
If you guys ever listen to what I'm saying, I said at the end of Rogue One, they all die the same way. It's shot the same way.
Yeah.
A grenade, look at it, look at the camera, blow up.
Yeah.
Something, look at the camera,
Yeah.
blow up.
What if she
Something,
looks at the camera?
Well, it's
and
different
blows up?
because
Bro,
it's not happening
Jonah,
after another.
I
one
will
after
say
another.
this. The only reason why I don't think she's going to die on camera or in this series is because she's a child.
She's not though. She's older than all the Bad Batch.
Yeah, but
Star
she's,
Wars-
a child. But
and
she is
she's
a child.
mentioned it
but she's in
multiple
a child's
times.
body, dude.
But she's mentioned it. She's like,
Yeah,
I'm
it doesn't
older.
matter
No,
if
no,
She's like,
she
I'm
is
older
a
than
child.
all of you. Hey.
No, they're smaller than children.
Yeah,
They're little
but
babies.
let me tell
Star
you
Wars has
something.
killed kids.
And we just
Bro,
saw,
but
we
not
just
main
saw,
character kids.
we just saw Anakin
what?
in 4 different like shows redo Order 66 and murder all these younglings.
Yeah, but they went with the main
They don't
character.
have a problem.
She's got.
That's true.
I think she has minor plot armor. Personally, I think so. I think she's got some protection.
Could be.
I know it. 100%.
I just think
Not Jedi.
a scene.
Your source. Said.
I would be.
Yeah,
I would
my
be absolutely.
guildmate's dad who works for the janitor of
That's right.
Lucasfilm.
I'm just saying a scene where her, Hunter, Wrecker, and Crosshair all go out saving their brothers.
Oh, so now
And
you're killing them all.
I already said that.
he
was gonna
said-
happen.
he said that.
Forgot about
I
that.
said they're all going out.
So what if they die single file by an explosion?
That won't happen.
Would that make you mad?
No, because they have to die together.
Look at the screen.
That's the
Blow
whole.
up.
That's the whole point. They have to die together because
I'm
that's
just
what they
trying to-
are. They're brothers.
I'm just trying to imagine this like show.
Echo makes it out.
I think Echo might make it out because he's not with them. It's going to be the ones that are together right now.
Echo Base is named after him, obviously.
Hunter, Wrecker, Crosshair, and Omega die together.
I'm just picturing like, oh, we gotta save them. They all blow up. They're all dead, and then at the end, dun, 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 like the horns. How do they finish every episode?
They don't. Though. They don't.
That's how I want to.
They don't because if
it's all happy-go-lucky. They're all epping dead.
If you've watched Star Wars, when they do a death, like when Kanan dies, it fades to white.
Hey, by the way,
and
explosion.
It does a silent. True. And it did a silent Rebels thing. I'm just so like, there's a way where they could do it, and that's not going to be the last shot. There's going to be something where be so there'll be a shot. There'll be a shot where
hope you enjoyed this series.
You'll see what the sacrifice did. Like in BVS, you know, Superman dies. It's like if you seek his monument, look around you. There's going to be a shot like that where it's like those that survived because of them.
Oh yeah,
you're seeing the legacy of their survival.
Well, okay,
I don't know if we kill off the Bad Batch.
Well, you heard it here first. They are. They're doing
We're reliable.
Dang, I'm gonna be depressed after this last episode whenever that comes out. Oof. So funny.
We'll see.
Hey, I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think so far at this point in the series? Has it been good? Has it been?
Yeah, I've liked it. This is my favorite season.
Yeah,
I would say it's my favorite season. I think it just everything with Omega and Crosshair specifically. Was
I think
just
the Crosshair
super riveting, and yeah, I would say it's my favorite.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice.
It's been awesome.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's going to do it for Bad Batch talk.
Yeah.
Corey, take it away. What are we doing next?
Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, I don't know, a couple of podcasts ago, we did a top 10, not top 10, I guess, what do we call it? Favorite 10?
Favorite 10.
Movies. Today in the podcast, we're going to do favorite video games. Basically, we're going to be making a list of 10 video games that are kind of like the blueprint to whoever's doing it, you know? It gives a window into who they are and how video games maybe has affected them, or
how smart they are, or how dumb.
Yeah, how dumb. Yeah, it might give you a little bit of knowledge on us. That is true. You know, if you have a bunch of like Mavis Beacon teaches typing, you know, that might kind of
typing
might be my top 10. You know, who knows?
Little Flappy Bird in there.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're gonna do that. I also threw this on the guys last second, so they're gonna try to figure it out on the fly. Hopefully, I'm also gonna do the same thing. I didn't prep anything. I know I can bang out at least eight that are like big games for me. But yeah, so let's. Does anyone feel like they have a pretty good handle on their games?
I mean, we don't have to go. I still am thinking of my 10th.
Okay.
So I can start, and then you guys can just kind of also give your any of these are.
We might come up with some ideas for you that might remind you.
Yeah.
So take it away.
So I think.
Oh, and by the way, just so you know, we're doing the same thing as last time. Where if it's part of a series, let's say like it's Zelda, we're gonna count all of it as one, but he's got to tell me his favorite, basically.
Yeah. So let's start with that. Zelda is the first one I put on my list.
Okay.
I just think that game is probably my favorite. Anytime there's a new Zelda game, I have to get it.
So you'd actually be comfortable with putting it at number one?
Yeah.
Like if you were actually
they're the most enjoyable. It's like one of those games where you go back and forth between what's your favorite. I mean, most people are going to say Ocarina of Time. I think that one's like, that's not the wrong answer if you say Ocarina of Time. I really like Breath of the Wild. And I really like Tears of the Kingdom. Mm-hmm. I feel like the storyline of Tears of the Kingdom for me puts it over the top for me. So that would probably be my favorite one, which is, I think a lot of people would say I'm nuts, but
it's a great story.
I love that the way it plays, everything about it. So the first one on my list would be Zelda, the Zelda franchise. A Link to the Past, the Super Nintendo one that we used to play all the time.
Yeah.
That one's amazing as well. That's probably one of my fondest memories.
Hey,
is
no
playing
honorable
that.
mentions.
I'm just saying. I'm just talking about Zelda in general.
Okay.
First or the original one with the gold Nintendo case, and then Zelda 2: Link's Adventure, which is a crazy game that when I passed that for the first time was like I felt like I did something amazing because it was so hard, and that game is incredible as well. So I think that has to be on my list as a defining.
Okay.
All
right, we got
game.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay. Smash Bros. I think it has to be on the list. The fond memories of playing with family.
Is there a better group game?
I don't know if there is. I don't think there is. The
Warrior
memories.
I think some unskilled people would be like Mario Party.
Yeah. But it's just so good. The memories I have of like going and getting it, playing it all night, unlocking the new characters.
Yeah.
A new challenger has emerged. And playing that. And I would say probably I'd have to go with Melee as the best one.
That's your number one?
Yes.
Wow, that's surprising. I figured you'd say like, that makes sense.
They kept neutering Samus the more it got. I really like Ultimate just because of the amount of roster, but I'm like, Melee was like, I feel like the characters are more balanced in that one.
Sure.
Not Brawl. Don't people say that's the worst one?
It's basically. Okay, that's two. Wow, we got through two. That's good.
Red Dead Redemption.
Okay.
If I have to pick, I'd Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
I love the first one. The second one just does such an amazing job with the storytelling. The music in the franchise is amazing. When you get to a point during the story where a song starts hitting and you're just riding and you can't do anything, and it's so good. They pick the great music. It's
such a
great
cinematic
story.
game.
It's so good. You can just go around, and I spend time fishing or hunting. It's just like, man, So I have to put Red Dead on there.
Nice.
Warcraft.
Okay.
The OG. So before World of Warcraft.
So which one?
I'm gonna go with Warcraft 3.
Okay.
Warcraft 3, I feel, is one of my favorite games of all time.
So you like the aspect of controlling like a hero?
Yes.
Okay.
I like the aspect of just the building, yes, my lord.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
Something you do.
I just loved those games and being able to, I think my biggest disappointment is the fact that they don't make more of that. Like, I know World of Warcraft is awesome.
Yeah.
Right? But
You want a Warcraft 4.
I felt that the Warcraft 3 storyline was so good, especially the Arthas stuff.
Yeah.
Like, the cinematic when you finish the human campaign and Arthas comes back and he kills his father, succeeding you, father. Like, that whole thing.
Yeah.
And just that whole storyline to me then was like, I want to know more. I want to get the story. And I'm like, I didn't play enough of World of Warcraft to finish. I know they did Wrath of the Lich King and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I just felt like I was always hoping for another Warcraft game. And because World of Warcraft did so good, it was like, we're never going to do that again.
And also RTSs do so bad.
Yes.
Now. It's like kind of like an antique kind of game style now. I mean, the cool thing is you can go back and you can watch all the
and the cinematics are amazing.
They're really good.
Like the one with Thrall and Grom Hellscream, like all that kind of stuff is just so good. So Warcraft, I'm gonna put StarCraft on there too.
Wow,
you double dipping.
StarCraft was so good.
Dang, dude.
Jim Raynor. I mean, our family knows that we talked about how I would end the story. Just amazing stuff. Kerrigan, everything. I mean, I love StarCraft. So good. Next one would be the Arkham franchise.
Okay.
And a lot of people are going to probably hate me for this. A lot of people say Arkham City is the best one. I really like Arkham Knight.
Okay.
I just feel like it's bigger.
Which one's the first one?
Arkham Asylum.
So I just love that franchise. As a huge Batman fan, it's just the combat's amazing. The detective stuff aspect of it. The storyline's good. Having Kevin Conroy do the voice just felt like it was Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so good. What else am I at?
That was your 8th, I think, if I'm counting right.
No, I think that was 6.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I think you're counting wrong.
Wait, what?
Smash, Zelda, Red Dead, Warcraft, Arkham, StarCraft, Mario. I feel like you have to put
Okay.
as a Nintendo guy.
Okay, but what?
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know if I can pick. 'Cause
Galaxy.
No, I think
Mario Maker.
Universe. Or what? What's the... What'd you say? Maker? Oh.
I'm picking Mario 3.
What?
Mario
Really?
3 with the raccoon tail.
Yeah.
So good. Another part of that is the memories I have of playing that, getting
Yeah.
that frog suit,
Yeah.
doing all that kind of stuff.
was a great game.
So good. Also, Super Mario World, the Super
World's
Nintendo one, is
so good.
fantastic. Mario Maker, I love Mario Maker. I love making the old school Mario games and just doing levels. I love it.
I love
Mario Wonder is so good. It's just everything about whenever a Mario game comes out,
Wow.
I have to get it.
Makes
I
your
love
top
Mario.
10.
It just makes me happy.
So Mario 3.
Mario 3 would be on that one.
Okay, wow. Nice.
64, GoldenEye, 007, Odd Job throwing his hat,
Yeah, that's banned.
all that kind of stuff. I think that was probably what gave me nausea and headaches, what introduced me to that. So, but that game, after that game, everything copied it, right? I just feel like that was like one of the funnest games to play. Again, memories of just going and playing it at your house with other people. That was just 007 GoldenEye. You got to have it on there.
Doom did exist before that, but...
Yeah, but I never played that, so.
That's a PC
Whatever.
game. Who plays PC? Okay. What was that?
That was 8.
Okay. It's a pretty good list.
I'm going to
list.
put my number 9 is another Blizzard game, Diablo.
Just doing all the Blizzard games.
Well, like as someone
Diablo 2?
someone who doesn't play a ton of games,
Right.
there are certain games I'm like, oh, like that's the game. And so, Diablo, growing up when I was younger and watching the cinematics, like I didn't play the first Diablo, but I watched all the cinematics,
Yeah.
right? And so then getting a little older, playing Diablo 2 and then playing Diablo 3 with my wife on the Switch has been like a ton of fun. And I haven't played Diablo 4 because I don't have anything to play that I could play it on. But I just think the storytelling of those games and just how immersive it is, but also just how well it's done.
Right.
It's just like you can't complain about it.
Yep.
My favorite one would probably be the mobile Diablo game that they did.
Immortal. Nice, dude.
So
You guys have phones, right?
So I would do
Cool.
that.
What do I?
I'm missing 10.
Okay, so
I need to think a little more.
I'll throw one before the counselor.
This one's
Lego anything.
I thought about that. The reason not is because those games just become so repetitive
Okay.
and there's not.
So Lego Star Wars.
I need something.
here's my suggestion for you, bro.
Okay.
Mega Man.
That was my next one. Was Mega Man. Yeah, that was my next one too.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. That might be.
Okay.
That might be it.
Okay.
That might be it.
Okay. Nice. Sick.
Um.
Okay, I need to write things down as I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's this triggering
Mega
other things for
Man. Mega
me.
Man is
gonna
tentative.
forget.
Give me 5 minutes just to think.
Okay.
What
All right.
someone else
And then
does
we'll
a
come
list.
back for your 10?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good.
I'll try to spout out some.
Okay.
Nice.
I didn't write anything down, so this is all from
Shoot from
my
the
brain.
hip.
I guess I'll just start with Uncharted.
Okay. Yeah.
Play
Uncharted
it.
is great.
It's such a great series. Each game just gets better and better, story wise and gameplay wise.
Yeah.
I'd say for the most part, all 5 games are just really solid.
It looked really good. It performed really well on the PS3. I got it with my PS3, so I just got Uncharted 2,
Yeah.
and it made me want to play Uncharted 1. So
I did the same
I went
thing.
backwards.
I started on 2.
Yeah.
I was
It
like,
wasn't as good, but it was
there's
still
characters that they're talking about. I'll be going.
Yeah.
There's like a prequel.
Yeah.
So I
was
did the
sick.
same thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is a list that's changed for me so many times of which Uncharted is my favorite.
Oh.
It's almost like my Nolan films favorites. It's like whatever I'm playing at that moment
Recency.
is my favorite one.
Yeah.
If I had to choose right now, though, I'd probably say Uncharted 4, just for the sake of the story and gameplay, that was like their top notch.
Oh wow.
And graphics were great. So I would probably say Uncharted 4. I'm also gonna do Red Dead 2.
Wow.
The story was amazing. It just really, I don't know what it was about that game, but just I think it was the combination of the story, the voice acting, the visuals, and just the world building.
Yeah.
It just felt so cinematic, similar to how the Uncharted games feel for me. It felt like I was just watching the game, and just watching the story unfold, and just such a fun roller coaster of emotions during that.
For
I mean,
sure.
there's so many twists and turns that just almost came out of nowhere, but it was such a fun game.
Yeah.
And like you're a cowboy.
It is sweet.
It's fun being a cowboy.
Honestly, some of the moments that you can create in that game, some of the coolest clips come out of that game.
Yeah.
Just like pulling some dude in some way and getting to some other
Tying
interaction.
someone up, throwing them into alligators,
Putting them on train tracks. Crazy.
And even like
really fun.
I did a little bit of the online stuff, and it was like, oh, there's another rival gang over there. Do you guys just want to start a gunfight in this old town? Like, yeah, and we're like up on rooftops. Like, it was just like, it felt like something you'd see in like an old spaghetti western.
Yeah.
It was just,
in that game, actually, it even grew past what it was too. Just stock. They had servers that would customize it, make it different. They had role play servers where guys would act like cowboys and like, hey, you over there, you're on my. Hey, you're not supposed to be here.
you're on my land.
It's crazy, but it's like they have communities infinitely playing this game. Like you can tell a game's really good when it has renewability. Kind of like Smash Bros. Like Melee.
Yeah.
It stood the test of time for so long, but same with Red Dead. It's like it's awesome too because they pour so much time into developing this game. It takes freaking so many years, and it's nice to see people still enjoying it to this day, which is awesome. Okay, which one was that? What number was that?
That was just number 2.
Okay.
Number 3, I'm gonna go with The Walking Dead Telltale.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like a lot of yours are gonna have to look good cinematically. You know what I mean? Like they'll have to have some cutscenes and yeah. No, this is good.
Yeah. And obviously for the Telltale, it's like you're there for the story. Really,
It's all story.
You're not really doing anything major.
It's fun
with.
though. I mean, you choose your own.
I think
actions.
I've had the most fun with that game series. In terms of which one, it's hard to choose between.
Are they just like episodes or something like that?
I mean, it's episodes and then a season. I think there was 5 seasons, if I'm correct.
Yeah,
Reliable. 5 seasons.
100%.
But I'd probably go with maybe the earlier seasons.
Sure.
Because I think after a while, it did feel like it was getting a little bit like, okay, where's the story going? It probably needs to end pretty soon.
Yeah.
In terms of the way they did end it, though, I think it satisfied the story they were telling.
Yeah.
But yeah, those games are just a blast. Just to, I got like 4 hours. I'm just gonna play through this really quick.
It's playing a movie.
It really is.
It's awesome.
And it's like anybody could play those type of games. You could, I mean, the mechanics are already dumbed down enough, but you could even go into settings and be like, I don't want any, shooting mechanics that you get like maybe 3 times per season. But
you don't want to mess anything up. Yeah.
But it's just fun to choose different dialogue choices and just see the changes that it makes. And like you could be a total jerk to somebody or like suck up to them or whatever.
You can do different save slots, right? And like, that's so cool.
Yeah,
I love that.
Those were a blast. I guess I'll stick with the Telltale stuff and go with the Batman Telltale.
Okay, yeah.
Arguably, I like those better than the Arkham games.
Wow, really?
And again,
This makes sense,
it's in terms of the story.
Right.
I love the Arkham games, but if I had a critique with them as a whole, I think Origins and Night have it a little bit more, but the Arkham games, the Telltale games, you have way more experience with Bruce Wayne as the man, along with being Batman. But it just goes into so much in depth to who the guy actually is that I feel like it lacks a little bit with the Arkham series. But it's also because the Telltale games, they span like, this is like over 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And the Arkham game is normally like, oh, it's an afternoon,
afternoon,
a night, you know, like 6 hours or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just the same thing as the Walking Dead stuff. It just, the story choices that you get to make, and honestly, it feels so much like the animated series in the same way that the Arkham games do. Cool. But yeah, just such a rich Batman world that I'm always crossing my fingers that they'll make a third season, but with that studio, I really don't know what's going on.
Sure. Okay, cool.
Ooh, let's see. Was that 3?
Yeah, dude. You got a lot to go.
What did you? That's 4 technically.
Oh, okay.
Because you said Walking Dead, then Batman. Right?
Okay. Yep.
Those were separate.
Yep. Oh, they're definitely separate.
Number 5.
Number 5, I'm gonna go with Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay, sweet.
Man, first of all, that game is one of the best looking games I've ever seen, just color wise, and I mean thematically, it feels like an old samurai film.
Yeah.
The gameplay is just super fun.
Animation, the art style.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It immediately just drew me into it. And again, with the music, man, that game was just an absolute blast. And you can do so many different choices with, I'm going to honor my heritage and be, fair in this fight and be, show honor and everything, or it's like, no, I'm gonna be an assassin and I'm gonna shoot poison darts or whatever from a distance and no one knows what happens. And it just has such a great story arc with your uncle.
You come on, uncle. Come on, uncle.
You got it right.
Yeah, who'd you say it was last time?
Jack Black.
Of course.
I love playing Jack Black in Ghost of Tsushima. He was great. Great choice. But yeah, I think we've all played Ghost.
I haven't played.
Oh man, it's great. It's in my top 10.
Yeah,
you're number 5.
This is my number 5. Oh man, I'm getting nervous here.
Like, I'm gonna run.
What are the games I've played?
Did you already say Uncharted?
Yeah,
he did.
That was my first one.
You wouldn't put the Arkham games on yours?
Oh, I'll do the Arkham games.
Okay, sweet. Which one? Which one was your favorite?
I think I might do Arkham Asylum.
Okay.
I think that game, out of all of them, had the best atmosphere because it is so claustrophobic feeling. It's a little rough in terms of the combat because it does just get better as the games go along.
Right.
But I think
if that doesn't bug you, then
it really doesn't, honestly. And there's something about just being stuck on the island the entire time. It just makes the game so so stressful, intense, and like you feel like you're on your own and everything.
And the Riddler trophies weren't as annoying.
Yeah, they were least annoying in that game.
yeah.
I think I avoid them every game anyway, except for Night when I'm like, I kind of want the real ending, so I have to get all 5,000 of them or how
So
many.
that's what YouTube's for.
That's what I did. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's still annoying.
Sure.
But yeah, Arkham Asylum is probably my favorite. I mean, all those. I even love Origins. I know that one gets probably the most crap out of all of them, which I don't understand. But I would
Spider-Man games.
Oh, thank you, Jonah.
Got you, bro.
The new Spider-Man games. I would say I liked Spider-Man PS4 better.
Oh wow!
Again, I'm leaning more into the story aspect of things. I would say easily that the game felt better in the second one.
Right.
Just they smoothed out a lot of things. They added new mechanics with swinging and everything. But story-wise, I think the first one had a lot more emotional impact. And in the second one, it felt like they were just trying to chase that lightning in the bottle that they got with the first one.
It was a cheap knockoff.
It almost felt that way. It was like
not cheap, but it was
I
trying to
get what you're
be
saying.
something.
And they swung for the fences for sure, but I felt like they had a lot better emotional punches and points in the first game.
Sure.
That felt earned.
Yeah.
And the second one, it was like, this feels a little rushed. I'm like, I don't know if I really buy that character would do that. But yeah, so I'll go for the Spider-Man PS4.
You an Assassin's Creed guy?
Not really.
Halo?
Not really. I guess if I had to put a first person shooter on my list, I'd probably say the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Okay, yep.
Came out in like 2007, I think.
Yep.
But that was like, you know, my first kind of, I think, console first person shooter. I started with Medal of Honor and stuff on the PC. Like that was like, I love like the World War II stuff. Like you get a little history lesson, then you could shoot Nazis. This is great.
Yeah, you'd be in trenches.
You know, being homeschooled, that was one of our classes.
Pretty sick.
Nazis. Kill them Nazis.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I'll probably put that. I mean, mainly probably just for nostalgia reasons. I'm sure.
Was that 8?
Yeah.
No,
that's 8.
Oh,
thank goodness.
I got you.
Help.
Help.
Either Star Wars Battlefront or Force Unleashed or
I'll do Jedi Survivor.
Oh wow, it was fun.
Yeah, is that the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jedi Survivor.
No, that's the second.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Fallen Order. I'll do Fallen Order. I never beat Survivor, so I can't put that on the list. Yeah, Jedi Fallen Order.
Sure.
Very similar actually to why I liked Ghost of Tsushima. It just had that same. Actually, very similar, like feeling mechanics with swinging their sword or lightsaber, and
the
just
different stances
and the blocking,
cool.
the blocking of the blaster. It just felt so good, and I normally don't really like those type of games, like the Soul kind of, like you died and you know everything respawns, like that kind of thing. Like it's never really my favorite. So
you got to get used to like the bosses. Attack patterns.
Yeah, like you have to learn what's going on, and I'm like, I don't like learning.
This is
I'm not a learning kind of guy.
I don't learn in video games.
But I mean, just the story was great. Everything with what happens at the end of the game with the surprise character, that was just like such a jaw dropping moment.
Yeah.
I remember looking up on. We've all played it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, spoilers alert. Vader shows up at the end.
Yep.
I remember watching a bunch of like reactions on YouTube of people playing that moment and being like, "God, that's so cool! We weren't expecting him. This is great."
Yep. And just seeing how like awesomely powerful he is.
Oh my gosh,
they depicted him so well. It was so cool. And he's just desperatally just trying to get away.
Yeah,
like,
you're just like,
holy
fleeing
crap!
Yeah,
this is a whole nother level. Like I got to get out of here.
Yeah. It just it's does such a good job at just stressing you out.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Is that 9?
Is your last one?
So you had PlayStation. You also had PC. Was there any like early game when you're a kid that kind of like ignited your love for games?
Sim City
Roller Coaster
2000.
Tycoon.
Roller Coaster Tycoon is huge, dude.
yeah.
That a lot of people like that. Sim Cities.
Sim City 2000, baby. You'd put when you'd go and click so that you'd go into the
wireframe.
Yeah, so you have to put the plumbing in and be like, oh my gosh, all these houses are out of water. Let me put a pump in there. So and then that tornado would come and just like, oh no.
So I remember some of the early
Godzilla would come in.
the first video game I played was Quake on the PC. I don't remember which one, but and then we had like the I don't remember what it's called, but it was like the ice block spelling games.
Okay.
Where you got like the Eskimo like yelling at you if you spelled something wrong.
Yeah.
We also had the Indiana Jones point and click.
Oh.
Yes.
Quest
And
for
the Quest for Atlantis.
That one's
Yeah.
Ooh, that might be in my 10.
That was.
I was actually going to say that.
I've replayed that one because they had it on PlayStation Store. I was like, yes.
They had so many
I can't
of those
do that.
types. Yeah.
Why would I want to do that?
There's nothing there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't make much sense.
Yeah. A lot of that. You're just clicking the whole screen.
Yeah.
Or connecting, like, put this paper on this bird. I don't want to do
the
that.
bird on the trash can.
Yeah. Those games are fun though. Like that game, Day of the Tentacle, all that stuff was a blast back in the day. But man, if I had to pick a 10th, I would say just for the amount of hours that I played this game, I'm gonna say Burnout 3 Takedown.
Okay.
I played
that
game like religiously.
Cool.
For a good chunk of my childhood.
Nice.
On the PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
in my parents' old house, we had a room called the Hobbit room.
Nice.
It was upstairs at the end of a catwalk. And it was,
did it have a short, like,
it was
roof?
a very small door, a very small room, and we put the PlayStation in there, and it just got hot as hay.
There's no window.
There was a window, but it didn't help.
Oh, man.
It did not. But I mean,
you
like,
got the sun beating on the roof, which is right above you. And,
but you just didn't care because you're in there just playing a
Burning
game
out,
for
baby.
hours and hours.
Burning
I don't
out,
know how that PlayStation survived.
That is
but-
surprising, yeah.
Didn't you? Now I'm thinking, what's that game you really liked? That Jack and
Jack and Daxter?
Yeah, isn't that one you really liked?
I like Jack. Oh man,
What about you probably
Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet. That's what I was thinking.
Those classic Spyro, Ratchet and
Ratchet and
Clank.
Clank.
Oh man,
Gotta pick one.
shoot.
Well, we can come back to
Those
you.
might be some
Honorable mentions.
Like 10,
11s.
10B.
Okay.
11s.
Before you
12s.
guys go with yours,
Sure. Did you figure
my
it out?
10. I think I do have to go with Mega Man.
Okay, which
Although Mario Kart was almost
So
there.
I was gonna mention
Mario
does
Kart
anyone
was
want
there.
Mario Kart.
But I'm like Mega Man just for the fact that it's like that was one of my first loves.
Yeah.
You know, like Mega Man and hey, I'm gonna say it. A bubble bobble, baby. like the amount of hours I put into Mega Man and Bubble Bobble.
Yeah.
But Mega Man just when you'd beat some, it was so tough to win.
So satisfying.
And then
when
you'd figure out what was the
counter.
the counter
yeah.
to the bad guy, and you're like, oh, Submarine Man, Bubble Guy is what hurts you, and you get their power. Oh, so good. So Mega Man.
So good.
That's what I thought.
Love it. All right, Josh.
All right.
Let's see it.
Well, I got a couple repeats. So
Yeah, sure.
Red Dead 2, obviously. What's already been said.
Yep.
It's like an amazing game, immersive, and the story's amazing.
Huge too. A lot of
I
gameplay.
I do like Red Dead, the original, but Red Dead 2 just hits harder.
Have you seen?
What about Red Dead Revolver?
Have you
It's not
seen
officially part of the world. Okay.
It is.
the video?
You can buy red as a alternate skin in Red Dead Redemption.
There's a video of a streamer, and he's like doing the beginning of Red Dead Redemption 2, and he's like, I'm kind of getting tired of the snow. Man, this is really lame. And then it goes to like fast forward to when Arthur's there seeing the sunset, and he's just like, he's just crying. It's like how we all felt playing this game.
Yeah.
It's pretty accurate.
Next one, I'm gonna have to say Ghost of Tsushima as well.
yeah.
Just a great story, really good mechanics for the game. Yeah, a beautiful game. So yeah, I gotta put Ghost of Tsushima on there. Another repeat. Well, Smash Bros. I'm gonna have to say.
You're gonna say Ultimate.
I am gonna say Ultimate, and that's because I like a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? I just like a big roster of characters.
Sure.
There's a billion of them. It seems like. And you know,
crazy.
there's some duplicates, you know, some clones,
Sure.
but there's really unique characters on there, and yeah, I just enjoyed.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, I just remembered.
Okay.
Can't believe it.
Well,
Sorry.
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Jeff.
Oh, this is my time. You already made your list. No, what do you got?
You can make an
What do you got?
addendum.
No, this guy had some huge.
Yeah, this better be huge.
An aha moment.
It was The Last of Us.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how I forgot about those games.
So you sub out whatever your last one was.
Also about Burnout 3.
Okay, I gotcha. That's yeah.
That's probably a good
Side
choice.
note, there was an article that came out that was like, is there problems on the set of The Last of Us 2? Pedro Pascal says he's already finished filming his stuff for the season. What's going on? I'm like, you don't
Spoilers.
know.
Hey, who
Anyways,
knows, bro?
back to you.
Yeah, there is a problem.
Doesn't got a lot to do with this season.
Okay, Josh.
All right, another
one.
another one. Warcraft.
Okay. And why? Why?
So it was just a game I played the crap out of nonstop.
Did you?
Yes. Warcraft 2 and
play?
Warcraft
Or
3.
were you just watching
No,
your older
dude.
brothers play?
Nope. I played
Well, how did you get time to play when you had two other brothers who were playing
because they were off at youth group or doing other stuff, and I played the crap out of them.
That's right.
So
That's what it was. When Joel wasn't doing it, then it was me.
That's right.
And then when I wasn't doing it, it was, hey, one computer.
Hey, you got to make things.
You get the battle chest.
I mean, the fact that you guys had a computer so early on was insane.
Yeah, so
it's got to be said.
Warcraft 3 just for the story, and then I just remember playing custom maps all the time.
Yeah,
not even the story. Just like, let me just build up my army as much as I can.
How could I forget this game?
So Warcraft 3, I think that's all my dupes. So now we're going into new territory.
This is too hard. I've got too many games.
God of War 2018.
I was going to ask if anyone wanted God of War.
Yeah, so God of War.
So which one is that? PS.
It's the reboot for the PS4. So yeah, reboot / continuation of the story, but it just takes the character in such a better direction than the originals, where the originals was just like, I'm going to murder everybody because you did these terrible things.
It was an arcade
and it was a lot of fun to just kill all the gods. It was satisfying. Fun, but the emotional weight that you get in this story, and just the relationship with your son and working through all that stuff, and the ending is amazing. So yeah, it's one of those games that has definitely stuck with me.
The game matured kind of with its audience. It was one of the few times where the developers really had a good kind of take on it, kind of the state of the player. It was really good.
So for Zelda,
okay, yeah, which one are you gonna choose?
I'm going to have to go with Link to the Past, and that's mostly because nostalgia. I feel like it's the one that I've played the most, surprisingly.
Really? Wow.
And I've replayed it multiple times on Virtual Console and stuff like that. And there's just something about Super Nintendo graphics that is like
so iconic
that I love. So
it's very satisfying.
So Link to the Past for me is my favorite.
I mean, there's literally indie games that emulate
right
Super Nintendo graphics, like 16-bit or whatever it was.
Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
So we'll keep it going with the 16-bit because my next one is Golden Sun.
No way, you're putting it up there.
Heck yeah, bro. Golden. I'm playing it right now.
No, you're not. You're doing your list.
In his head, he's playing.
Yeah. It's over there. It's saved on my Switch.
In my head.
Really?
They released it on Virtual Console. So
wow.
So one of those games. It's originally a Game Boy Advance game, and I don't even know how many hours I put into this game and the sequel, The Lost Age. So Golden Sun is one of my favorite games. I feel like not a lot of people have ever heard of it or played it.
No.
But hey, if you've got the pass for Nintendo or the Switch, you can play it right now.
Yeah.
So treat yourself.
Yeah, it's a fun game. It's kind of a turn-based RPG. Super fun. Super fun.
Okay, so this next one is Metroid.
Okay.
And I'm trying to decide whether...
Dude.
Which one I want to go with. And I think it's probably Metroid Fusion.
Dude, really?
Yes.
I like the side-scrolling ones as well.
So Metroid...
which one was the one on this Game Boy Advance?
That was Metroid Fusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
So same thing. 16-bit.
Blue text, right?
Yep.
Yep. Dude, I would say that's my favorite too.
So Metroid Prime, it's close. That's the first person one. But yeah, just Metroid Fusion. I mean, it's a really short game. I just played it not too long ago.
Nice.
But yeah, it's just for that time. It's one of those games that I just played nonstop. I love the side-scrolling.
Yeah, it feels
games.
so crispy too, and it also makes it feel familiar, like Mega Man as well. You know, kind of like the jumping and the platforming. I love that game. That game is great. What number was that?
That is my number 8.
Okay.
So I got 2 more.
2 more.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So I needed a first-person shooter on here, right?
Okay.
And another game that was on GameCube that I played all the time, Medal of Honor Frontline specifically.
Okay.
So that one has the intro where it's basically like Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just one of those games that, play it all the time. Obviously you could do, multiplayer.
Could do multiplayer.
But yeah, I feel like I needed a first person shooter. And I went back with one of the earlier ones. I thought about GoldenEye, but I decided to go. It's not that far back.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a fun story to play through, fun campaign.
Wow.
And it was one of the OG first-person shooters.
Something so special about those early World War II.
The Tommy gun.
Tommy.
It's just there weren't
1911.
Yeah. You get to kind of travel back in time. It's almost a historical kind of experience. And it's intense. You're going to go back, the younger generation is going to go look at, what did the game look like? Looks like trash. But back in the day when we didn't have a lot of 3D games, these are like the first 20 3D games we ever got to see ever. It was so immersive. You'd be in the trenches and you're just seeing like
the
explosions. What?
You're throwing the little potato mash.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Pretty awesome.
So yeah, that's on my list. My last one. This was tough.
So tough.
Mario was up around here.
Mario's huge, man.
But I had to go with something different. And I went with Fire Emblem because I love me some Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
And same thing, I went with this similar time period. Game Boy Advance. A lot of these games are Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
And it's the Sacred Stones
Which is number
game.
2?
It's not the first. It's not the second one. It's the one with Erica and Ephraim, the twins.
Okay.
But yeah, I love me a turn-based strategy game. I just remember spending so many hours playing through it, trying to not let anyone die because permadeath is on, and if you lose somebody, they're gone forever. And even though sometimes I wanted to sacrifice one of my crappy knights, I was like, I can't let this guy die because he's not gonna be here ever again. So yeah, I got to restart the level and start from scratch and make sure we don't make the same mistakes again. So
that's why you play so much, because you're trying to perfectly execute the mission without losing anyone.
So Fire Emblem.
Nice.
Before you go, I have an addendum.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I forced you guys to do this.
I'm taking Mega Man to 11.
Whoa.
At 10, I'm putting Myst.
Oh.
Okay, because
Man's gone, dude.
Because that game, the more I think, I was like,
by the way, Mega Man's not 11. He's off the list.
He's not 11. He's gone.
Mega Man's not on.
Myst was like playing that as a little kid and writing down stuff to figure out what the puzzles were and the codes and all that. And then going in and graduating up to Riven and doing all that and putting in, when you go to a different island, putting on a different CD so that it would continue. That was, that's one of my like foundational gaming experiences that I've had. Mega Man is too, but I just feel like having Mario 3 and other of the stuff on there that are similar, Myst is kind of a PC different kind of game that I feel like should be on there. So,
yeah, Myst was close for me as well.
I also have one really quick. I'm gonna take off Modern Warfare. I'm gonna put on Left 4 Dead 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
And
you
took
hey, this is what happens. This is what happens when you do lists off the top of your head.
Yep.
Let's see it, Corey. Let's see what you
wait
got.
a second.
Corey's got a list of 80 games that he's got to whittle down to 10.
I just whittled them all down. Good luck. I just whittled them all down. So my 10 list has to. If I made a top rated games of all time, it'd be more
different.
recent. It'd be more recent. This is going to be more of a history of what
makes
my journey was.
What makes you a gamer.
So, I'm surprised. I guess it makes sense. You guys just weren't really exposed to this game, but it's probably the number one biggest franchise of all time. Can
let's see if we could guess.
Pokemon.
100% correct. Pokemon. Ever heard of it?
I didn't play them.
Right.
Yeah.
So you guys
I played Pokemon.
So it's kind of interesting. Did you?
Yeah.
When you were a kid?
Yep.
Yeah, he had them on the Game Boys.
That was the devil.
You, bro.
You're welcome.
I had Pokemon Silver,
You're welcome, Uncle Larry.
Crystal.
Did you just
Sapphire.
get my old ones? Like I would just give you the old ones?
I don't know, dude. I'm
Because
pretty
those
sure
are
you
all the
still
ones
had
I
them.
chose. Okay.
I had
sick.
Pokemon Red.
Did you have yellow? The Pikachu one?
No.
Okay. I probably still have it. Anyway, Pokemon. Yeah, man. You know who
Pick one. There's 60 of
them. You know
them.
who introduced me to
They're
it?
all the same though.
My cousin Chad. He got a
PH?
Game Boy Color for his
PH?
birthday or something like that.
What
And
color was it?
His was blue.
Yours was yellow, dude.
Mine was yellow
Yeah.
because mine
I
was like
remember
the
yours.
half generation because it took me longer to get it. But he brought it to a camping trip, and I was like,
And you
"This
stole
is
it.
so cool." He let me play it a little bit. So yeah, I will say Pokemon Yellow was my favorite, just because of how it kind of opened my eyes to, I guess what could be played on a handheld. It was really amazing, and leveling up your Pokemon stuff was really cool. Then
Was red and yellow the original?
yeah, red and yellow were the original, and then green.
Or red and blue, and then
Sorry.
yellow came out.
Yeah, sorry, red and green. Yeah, sorry, red and blue, and then green was released in Japan, was not released here, and then yellow.
Okay.
And
So that's the one where Pikachu
So I
followed
had
you
the
around.
original Pokemon.
you
game.
did,
Let's go.
and yellow was cool because Pikachu followed you around.
Yeah.
And it came in a pack with a yellow Game Boy Color. The next game is I'll just get past the obvious ones. World of Warcraft.
Why is that obvious?
Probably the most influential game I've ever had in my life. I found my wife on this game. I found some of my best friends on this game. I've spent
Millions of dollars.
I bet I've spent as far as game time on this game, I've probably spent a year of my life.
Probably more than that.
Thanks, Blizzard.
Probably more, I think. I don't think quite 2 years though. Just a lot of awesome, amazing times and moments socially that you get. The game was really cool. Cutscenes are awesome. Story's fun. Boss fights are really interesting.
Getting your wife through it.
It's the best. So World of Warcraft for obvious reasons. I also got to see where you were at, where you're like, I wanted to see what happens with Arthas. I got to see all that.
Yeah.
I got to fight him at the end to take him down and get all that stuff.
Yeah, stop rubbing it in, bro.
Very cool.
Move along.
Smash Bros. 100%.
Yeah.
That game is amazing. I don't like typical fighting games, and I love the aspect of like the jumping and the special moves. It's not like this like block, that Mortal Kombat style.
That's why I love items.
It's more dynamic. The spatial awareness you have to have in that game to be good is really cool. I really enjoy that. So I'll put Melee as my number one. Just because Marth was so good in that. I love Marth in that game. He is so powerful. The next game I will say is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Kind of similar to World of Warcraft. I had amazing social, experiences with my buddies. We played so many nights and weekends on Call of Duty. It was just so fun. I remember the first time I ever got a nuke, which is you got 30 kills before dying. So you had to play a whole game without dying, and then you just end the game and you win. Yep. It's pretty sick.
Great campaign, too.
It was a really good campaign.
Really like that
The story
campaign.
on that was really good, especially the ending was sick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have to put on the game that has the most hours I've ever spent on a game on Steam, which is PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. It's called PUBG. It's a battle royale. It was one of the first battle royales to do it. I've put 2,000 hours into that game, which is wild. And yeah, just me and BJ and other friends have just played. When it came out, we played so much, like every night. Let's get on. Dude, we played so much of it. Battle royales are really special, and they're so big now, and they're so saturated nowadays. But back then, really special. You'd be on a journey for like 30 minutes, and it was always different because of the player versus player aspect of it. Final Fantasy, huge franchise, one of the biggest. It was the first what's it called? Turn-based RPGs that I ever played. Final Fantasy VII is the one I'm going to put down there. It was huge. David and I, my best friend in high school, that's how we kind of like met. Was on the first day of school, we were in the bus, and I was like, "Oh, do you play any video games?" He's like, "Yeah, I play Final Fantasy." I was like, "Oh, me too." And so we bonded over Final Fantasy. That was really cool.
You went,
We'll throw Zelda there. Super influential for my upbringing for sure. I'm going to put Ocarina of Time. Iconic. It's, in my opinion, the reason why it's still popular today. But they've obviously adapted super well, made it really good. I'll follow your suit, Fire Emblem.
Let's go.
I really enjoyed Fire Emblem. It was a special kind of game. I'd never experienced like this permadeath kind of aspect of it. And I really enjoyed the second one, I think, is the one where Lynn was in it. And she was my favorite character.
I worked with a Lynn. She was terrible.
Really?
This Lynn is sick, though.
This Lynn is dope.
I also worked with.
Lynn, if you're watching, we're just joking.
Does Sean also work with Lynn?
I forgot.
Nice, dude.
Bleep that noob.
I work with a beep.
Yeah, that sounds bad. That sounds probably worse.
I worked with a beep too.
I worked.
Does Sean work with a beep?
I'm making my decision right now.
RuneScape.
No.
Nexus,
I've
bro.
actually never... Good job. How'd you know that?
Because you said RuneScape, and I was like, you played Nexus.
Okay, so that was it was between Halo and Nexus. I'll put Nexus there. This is a game you've never heard of. It's called Nexus, the Kingdom of the Wind. It is a Korean-based game that was on the PC. Still is today, by the way. But Kim, our cousin, introduced me to this game. One summer, I went to her house, and she was playing this game on her PC, and I'm like, what is this? It was kind of like top-down, like Super Nintendo style, right? But you're just like swinging your stick around. You can your sword around, and you can cast spells. But it was an MMO, and that game opened my eyes to what an MMO could be. Look, you're going to look it up. You're going to see the terrible graphics. The gameplay is really bad. But the coolest aspect of this game was that, so let's say you wanted to be a warrior, right? You have archetypes. You could be a berserker, or you could be like a samurai. But the only way you could become that is if a player who ran that, like, if they're called subpaths back in the day, you had to like role play with them to like fulfill. They'd put you on missions.
Yeah,
for,
Corey found his first wife on Nexus.
No, you could get
Didn't
married.
work out.
You could get married.
Didn't
in that
work
game.
out, and then he found his second wife on World of Warcraft.
But it was just really cool. I was like, wow, what an interesting concept. I had never played an MMO before, and so that just opened my eyes to what it could be. This like social aspect, and kind of like, I'll help you out, and like I'll boost you up, and like Kim would like help me out and give me gear and stuff, and I was like, this is so cool, and just like the Asian kind of style I really liked as well. But that was a special game.
Dude, I got put in jail in Nexus because I said a swear word.
Okay, really?
And then I was in jail, and I was
you
like,
actually
oh,
did
no.
play
You
it.
said a real word swear word?
So
I like typed it out. I was like, I can't remember.
what
I
was
was
the
mad.
word?
I was mad
F
at somebody.
you.
No, it was like it wasn't something that bad.
You
You,
said,
know
like,
what I mean?
shite
But
or something
yeah,
like that?
something like that. And then all of a sudden they put me in jail, and I was like, oh no, they're gonna know that I swore. And I was screwed.
telling your parents?
Do you think
I think you were there. I think
Yeah,
you were.
I-
100%
We
there.
sat-
It was at Aunt Linda's house in the Tri-Cities.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, I don't know how I got here.
They're like, we're going to send an email to your dad.
That'd be funny. But the
Larry Gallego 70 at AOL.com. Your son said, shut up
Dude,
on
that's crazy how you
Nexus.
just said his email. That's hilarious.
LORENZO 70 is probably his
Nice.
password still.
Oh my God.
That's crazy. Maybe that's the one we bleep. I don't know.
Probably, dude.
But it was cool. Like, yeah, like real people ran so much of the game. You know, the jailers and stuff like that. That was a player, by the way. He probably got sent a message. Oh, someone said a bad word, and then he was
got
like,
me,
"Yep,
bro."
send him to jail." And you were out for like a day or something like that, or hours
it
or
was
whatever.
Scurry, dude.
Yeah.
Bad boy.
And then, so
Sorry, Mom.
that really, pushed me towards the MMO aspect in my life, and so that game has a special place. And thank you, Kim, out there,
Next
our cousin.
shout out.
Shout out to Kim.
Yeah, that was super special. Oh, and she got married in that game, and I thought it was a little risque. It was a little crazy.
Were people saying swear words in the game
No, but they were
during the wedding?
They were married. I don't know. That was it. There's nothing crazy. I just thought it was funny.
You're like, wait, what?
I was like, well, Kim's married, and the guy was probably like 30. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Probably.
kind of messed up.
Yeah, it's messed up. That's how it all started.
My last game. That's my last game. Can't go without it. League of Legends. It was my post. It was my post high school game, and I still play it today. Every once in a while, not a lot, but yeah, just Bree and a lot of my friends just bonded over that game. I achieved my highest rank of any video game in that video game. I got diamond twice, so I have two seasons.
He's double diamond.
And here's the craziest part: League of Legends gave me the job that I work today, and so World of Warcraft and League of Legends kind of dictated where I am in life. It's kind of crazy.
That is pretty nuts.
How integral gaming's been in
It's
my
the same
life.
thing with Mario. I clean toilets.
Plumber. That's good. That's good.
I clean toilets for a living now.
It's a full circle.
Thanks to Full Circle.
Full circle.
You know?
And how did you know how to do that?
And I've got a mustache.
It's me. I'm telling that. But yeah, wow, that was cool, guys. I'm glad we could do that. It's hard to kind of nail it down to 10.
Yeah.
Wow,
It
I had
really
like
is,
5
dude.
more that I wanted to talk about, but because like no one mentioned Halo, which culturally was huge back.
I had the opposite problem.
What? Oh, you didn't have enough. Yeah. Yeah.
Scrounging.
Maybe I should have just used some of yours. Yeah.
Like Burnout 3, obviously.
Yeah.
No, like there are some, like for me, there's some that I'm like, oh, that's a really cool game. But then I remember I watched it, like God of
Right.
War. Like Josh
You
would be
didn't play
playing.
it?
I would play
Oh.
a little bit, the originals, but
Yeah.
I would watch Josh play. And so I'm like, oh, God of War is really cool. Or like same thing with Metal Gear. Like I played
Yeah,
the first
yeah.
ones, but then I
Joel play
never.
that?
And then I never played when I watched Josh play the most recent ones.
Yeah.
So there's like games like that where I was like, I was more of a spectator in watching stuff.
I almost put Resident Evil on my list because I had some of the most fun multiplayer moments I ever had with my brother. Which one was it? Was it 5 or something like that? Where PS3,
yeah.
the one
Yeah, 5 was the one.
played together, split
Yeah.
screen. That was sick. I loved that game.
Star Fox 64 was
that
almost
was a
on mine.
special. That was a
Especially
special.
the multiplayer where you're like dogfighting.
Yeah, dude. Dual barrel roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get the tank.
What about Worms Armageddon?
Oh,
That's a good
classic.
Game. That's a good game. That's a good game, bro.
Move aside, Smash Bros. We got Worms.
Worms is good.
Yeah.
Worms is good. We played a lot of Worms.
It was a fun game.
We had worms too while we played.
Did you? Did you? You had to get them
I
removed.
mean, we lived in Mexico, so
Yeah,
chances are we had
probably.
worms.
Probably.
Drinking that water. There was a battle going on in our tummies too.
Concrete Donkey going off there.
Donkey Kong Country.
I thought about that one.
Lots of games like that. Yeah. Super Mario 64. Super Mario 64 was groundbreaking for its time. Like it was like I think the first 3D game. That was crazy.
This may sound a little crazy, but Wii Sports.
I thought
You know what
about it.
Well, so that's a good point. It's also one of the top most sold games because it came with the Wii.
Yeah.
But also, people love that game. People still love it to this day. It's an amazing game. It brought generations together.
It did.
I broke up with my girlfriend, and I kept playing Wii Sports with her mom. We'd hang out and play like golf and
Say
and,
her
and
name.
bowling. We're
Say
not
her
saying any
name.
names.
Say her name.
Nope.
Her name was Lynn.
You worked with her too?
Her name was Beep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's. I think growing up, video games were such a not important, but like it was integral to kind of what we did. Interesting to kind of see it because a generation behind us, not so much.
Yeah.
And now it's so normal nowadays. It's interesting to kind of see how it's kind of adapted. Removing your kind of biases, if you can, do you think that the kind of gaming that we did back in the day is a healthier version of what they're doing currently in the current generation,
It
like
depends.
Fortnite and stuff like that?
I think it depends.
Because there's mobile games now, which I mean, we had Game Boys, right? There were no like money transactions happening or anything like that. Really, you buy the game, that's what you got. But yeah, what do you guys think about that?
I think it depends. When we so growing up, it wasn't like we had a console, right? So like when we think about the games,
Right.
like we'd go over to grandma's and she had the Nintendo.
Yeah.
And so we would like play together as a part of like,
Gauntlet Legends, bro. Oh, that game was sick.
as a part of, like one player would play and then you'd lose and then pass it on. And like
Yeah.
so it was more communal. And I think like what
Very
you say,
communal, yeah.
there's an aspect where that still happens today. It's more of an online stuff. So like you've had that side of things where that still happens. But I think in the same way where there's maybe kids that were more loners or kids that had their own console but would just play by themselves.
Yeah.
Where you might have the same thing where I think it just depends on who you have around you.
I agree.
Like where that's where it becomes dangerous. Like if you get addicted to something and you're just by yourself and there's no outlet with other people, that's where it becomes like an addiction and could become a negative thing. But I just feel like the way we had it when we grew up, it was like, this is something we do together. And then it was like, oh, turn it off now. Let's go outside and play together. Like all that kind of stuff.
You can say back in my day.
Back in my day.
Yeah.
So I just think it depends on, I guess, more of the social like
I think it
aspect
depends
of
on the
things.
person.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that, and how the person is socially and aspects of that. Because I do think the games I play more on Switch and Nintendo, and I'm playing with my daughters, right, and my family. You're doing more of online stuff where you're connecting with other people and playing on a massive level. Does that make sense?
I don't game unless I'm playing with other friends. I do not play single player games. The only time last single player game was the Star Wars game.
Yeah.
That's because I was streaming it for the Nerd Age homies. Because for me, there's just less fulfillment in a game if it's just by myself. And that's just like a preference thing, right? You know, Mick's going to have an awesome time because it's like a movie. He's watching a movie, but he's playing a movie. Like, that's amazing for him. So, I think it depends on the person.
Yeah.
And you and Crystal hang out downstairs and kind of game around each other, and sometimes you play with each
That's
other.
why we can't record on the weekends.
That's right, dude.
They play together.
If we can play co-op, we'll play co-op.
Yeah.
But usually it's like
Diablo and stuff. You can play.
yeah,
co-op. It's super.
But otherwise, it's like, oh, well, let's play
Swap.
like Jedi Survivor. We play together.
Yeah.
And so we just switch off.
Stardew Valley, she's planting
Stardew
her
Valley,
strawberries
heck no,
while
bro.
you're watching her plant.
Stardew
them.
Why?
Stardew Valley
You're
is
like,
so
bro,
not
water
on my
those.
top
Make
10.
sure the sprinklers are. You got to fix that sprinkler, yo.
Yeah, bro. You got till that land.
Upgrade that. Hey, I can't wait.
I know.
Concerned Ape already did the update. I don't think it's happened on the Switch yet, though. I think it's just PC.
It's PC. Yeah.
How is Stardew Valley not on your list? Dang, dude.
It was close. I finished it. I have it all done.
Dude, he
Got the
beat the game. Like 100%ed it.
100% of it.
I believe
That's
it.
crazy.
Yeah, he's a no lifer.
It's just so easy on the Switch.
Bro, that should be.
You're just playing, and then all of a sudden it's 4 a.m. You're like, I gotta wake up in 2 hours. I've just been harvesting these.
See, it's moments like that where I'm like, man, maybe he is a gamer. You know what I mean? Like, I think
He's a
he got-
gamer, bro.
here's the
He's
thing,
a
I'll say
gamer.
this.
There's
I think he got
certain
the
games.
heart of a gamer, the eyes of an old man. You know what I mean? Like, you're limited.
There's certain
can't
games.
handle it.
Stardew Valley does not make me. Give
Yeah,
me a
it's a
headache.
little 16-bit, top down,
Feels
easy
good.
clap. Yeah. Anyway, cool. Well, that was fun to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We'll be back next week. You can follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, on X, on TikTok,
X.
YouTube. We'll be back next week with more Nerd Age. See you later.
See ya.
Bye.